Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. So it has been a hot minute since I've been on here. There's a lot of stuff that's happened over the last little while whilst I have been MIA. I've been recording a lot of content in the background that I'm going to be releasing over the next coming days, weeks, months. A few things happening. I suppose if you haven't seen, or if you've seen any of my other socials, probably there's two big bits of news, I suppose, that I'm pretty much equally excited about. I have finally gotten myself one of my childhood dream cars, is the big one, or is one of the big ones. I've got myself an R31 Skyline 1988 model. It's the Series 2. It's the late Series 2, so it has got some of those Series 3 bits and pieces, gauges and stuff like that on it. Freaking amazing car. One of those 1 in a million barn finds that you just happen to luck across, one of those days that you always look at and think, geez, how were they lucky to find that? Did have to drive a fair while to get it. I ended up going out to Orange to get it one Thursday night. So that was a 6.5, 7 hour round trip that was a whole bunch of fun on a Thursday night when I had to get up for work the next day. But amazing car. Hasn't skipped a beat. I'm doing a few little bits and pieces to it now, just the general clean-up stuff. The thing is showroom mint condition. It's absolutely insane how clean this car is, and it's the same comment I get from everyone is, oh my god, I can't believe how mint it is. I can't believe how clean it is. The interior is absolutely schmick. Every single thing on it is just, it's like it just came off the showroom. It had 114,000 K on it when I bought it. I've now ticked over 115 and a bit. So I put a fair few Ks on it so far. I'm using it as a daily driver, so it is getting driven literally every day to and from work. At this point in time, pretty much anywhere we go, we're taking it, just because it's so much fun to drive. A few little niggly bits and pieces that you'd expect from a 40-year-old car. 40, yeah. Almost 40-year-old car. It was born 8 years after me, so 35-year-old car. Not that I'm turning 43 this year. I am turning 21 still, I'm sure. Amazing thing though for the age of it, and for how old it is and for what it is. And usually find these things and they're thrashed the absolute shit house. This thing is mint, standard auto, factory auto. The guy that I got it from was second owner, so I'm third. Nothing done to it, absolutely nothing done to it. I think he's done a closed door respray on it, just to brighten up the paint a little bit, to the same factory paint obviously. He's replaced the injector rail, replaced the fuel rail, replaced the injectors, a few little sensors in the engine that had just added over the time, had been thrown out. Alloys. That's about it. There's pretty much nothing else done with it. It's absolutely immaculate. The other big thing that's happened only in the last couple of days actually is I am now officially the media partner for AusDC, for Australian Drift Club, which means any of their main circuit events or their competition events, I'm going to be the main official media for the events. I'm still going to be at every event like normal, but on a more unofficial official capacity, more a partnership type capacity, whereas at the events and at the competition and the main circuit events, I'll be the official media for the day. So I'll be catching a lot of interviews, a lot of behind the scenes stuff, a lot of just everything. All my images and media that I put out is going to be all for them. So it's really, really exciting. Something I've been working towards for quite some time. And you've all seen how much content I'm putting up about drifting in Australia, and those DC events. Not particularly them I was after, but really, really excited to get on board with them. Amazing group of people, amazing crew behind the scenes, amazing crew that turn up, and drivers. Everyone takes part in the events are absolutely fantastic. So it's going to be me, Declan and Xavier are all going out there as part of the crew. The two boys are going to be essentially working as my assistants, but also building up their own profiles as well, which is really exciting. I know they're both keen to kind of follow my footsteps and get into photography and sort of visual arts side of stuff, whether it's video or photography or whatever. So obviously I'm teaching as much as I can. I'm teaching them how to act around the track, how to behave, where to stand, what to watch for, all that sort of stuff, all the safety stuff obviously, because we do get fairly up close and personal with some of the cars next to the safety walls and stuff like that. Knowing where to stand and knowing what to look for, you can stay safe as houses. there is safety things in place for a reason, but it does let, as media, does let you get to spots. Being responsible and knowing what to do, knowing where to stand, it does get you access to areas and locations and angles that you'll never get as a general public, which is amazing. That's what I love about it. Some of the images you can capture and some of the action you can capture is just such a different perspective, and a really up close kind of personal perspective with the drivers. It's amazing. Getting a lot of good relationships with the drivers as well, which is brilliant. Does let you, when you've got a good relationship with the drivers, it does let you get better images. Whether they play up a little bit more on the track when they see you on the side, when they know you're standing, whether it's in the pits, the funny behind the scenes photos, the more relaxed around you, it just lets you get much better photos and videos as well, which I suppose is the other new thing that's happened while I've been off. You possibly saw the post a little while ago, my 5D, which is now up in my memory cupboard. My 5D of 13 years crapped itself. It was actually at an AusDC event, funnily enough. Literally took, thankfully it wasn't a competition event, it was just an open night. Literally took one photo for the night, and my camera just went, you know what, that's it, I've had enough, and stopped. It is repairable. The issue is I have to send it back to Canon to get repaired, and it's going to cost as much as it would for me to buy another body of the same type, which it's just not feasible to get done. 13 years that camera's been with me. It has been absolutely through everything with me. I'm going to have to keep an eye out for some gear because, well, that body's gone. My 24-70 finally gave up the ghost, which I'm still in the middle of trying to repair. This 7200, which is my go-to, is it's pretty much my Pro Series lens that I use for basically everything. All three of those, it's a 5D and the 24-70, were all of the same age. I bought them all around the same time, within sort of 6 months of each other. So this better not die. All right, I don't know what I'm going to do. I love this lens. Absolutely love this lens. Fortunately, at this point in time, I'm not in a position to replace this lens, so I better not die, or I'm in all sorts of shit. You might notice on the end, I actually have a new little addition to it as well, which brings me to my other one. The 5D died, so I needed something to shoot with. Normally I'm shooting these on my phone, which is now in my hand. I have gone into the mirrorless realm. So I've gotten, which is what this is shooting off, is a Canon M50, sorry. It's a Mark 1. I got a second hand, just needed something quick that was going to shoot and was going to do what I needed to. Not a Pro Series camera, but in saying that, 13 years difference between a Pro Series camera and a consumer camera, pretty much the same kind of thing. There is a few things, a few sort of drawbacks, a few things about the M50 that I would prefer to change. Or not change, but a few things that are lacking compared to what I'm used to with the 5D and with the Pro Series camera. Low light photography is one of them, but in saying that, the resolution that it takes, I can kind of tweak in camera. That combined with the new advancements in Lightroom and Photoshop, I can take what would be considered an underexposed image and still end up with a perfectly good image in the long run. It's all about knowing what to shoot, knowing how to shoot, knowing what it's going to come out like, knowing what you can do post to recover those images, not even recover, but to improve those images to something that's usable and something that's up to the standard that I expect and the standard that I'm happy with releasing. Really happy with it though. It's tiny compared to my 5D, absolutely tiny. I put this thing on it and it looks absolutely ridiculous because they've got a tiny little body off the back of this camera, as opposed to my 5D was this massive thing. I am eventually going to get another Pro Series, or probably an R Series or something like that. But that'll be a little bit on. Now, tax return is coming up, but there are a few things I need to put that tax return towards as well, so we'll see how we go. But yeah, some exciting things happening, some really, really exciting things. I'm actually going to do a bit of a documentary slash, I don't know, I suppose you call it kind of a documentary series, progression series of the R31. I've taken some videos, as I said. There are some small things that I've been doing along the way. I haven't really done anything to it. I've literally bought it, I've replaced the gearbox oil. That's it. I've replaced the gearbox. I started putting a kill switch in it. I just need to wire that up. Just my back's been a bit crooked the last couple of days, or last couple of weeks really. So I've been able to contort myself under the dashboard to hook it up properly to the wiring that I need to. But it is the actual switch itself's mounted, the wires are run, I just need to hook it up. Other than that, the only thing I've really done is put petrol in it. I haven't touched anything on it. I said did the gearbox oil the other day. I'm going to slowly go through, obviously, and do just the consumables, your oil, water, spark plugs, that sort of stuff, just to give it a good refresh. But other than that, I haven't touched it. So there hasn't really been much content to make on it so far. It has been out to the track a few times, just to kind of say hello to everyone, and I know a lot of the Oz DC people were keen to see it. Did take it out to, I covered the DGR festival a couple of weeks ago for Oz DC again, and yeah, took it out there, and yeah, it was odd. I've never had a car that people stopped to look at. Oh, actually, no, scratch that. I did when I had the Mini. That's the only time I've really had a car that people have kind of stopped and looked at. Generally older dudes that, hey, I remember having one of these when I was a teenager. But in saying that, I did have the R31 as well. But it was very weird having the car at a show that people would actually stop and look at, even though it wasn't part of the show. It was just one of the ones kind of off to the side. Stop and look and take photos and ask questions and stuff. It was quite odd, I must say. It did change my opinion of what I was thinking of doing to the car. There's a few different things I was wanting to do, and I'm essentially going to keep it as stock as possible, definitely stock looking as possible. I am wanting to upgrade the suspension and brakes, just because the brakes in it are fucking terrible. It is a big ass heavy land boat and the brakes are horrible, so I am looking at doing an S13 conversion on it. Basically it's slightly bigger and better brakes, front and back. It does allow me to put coilovers on it, so I can lower the ride height a little bit, and it will stiffen the ride up a little bit. It is like driving a bowl of jelly, and you take a corner too much, the body roll thing is insane. But yeah, hasn't really been much done to it so far, so I am going to document as I'm going through and doing things like the coilover conversions, and I did get some video doing the gearbox drain the other day. Just doing the basic stuff like basic maintenance, showing how to do basic maintenance, showing what I'm doing on the car, and just kind of keeping track as I go. But yeah, just kind of wanted to do a quick video. Obviously test out the M50 for my videos as well. I did need to fix this lighting though, because that is way too harsh for what I want. Unfortunately, if I turn around the other way on the wall, I actually have a new desk as well. Man, there's all sorts of things that have happened, isn't there? I have a new desk set up. You'll notice I'm not over here as much. I'm over here. I've tied up my office a little bit. I still have a little ways to go to get it completely fixed up, which I'll probably do over the next 2 days while I'm off work. But I have a new desk, so my light is a lot further away than it used to be. It used to be a lot closer and sort of behind camera. It's now over there more. So I'm going to have to tweak that a little bit just to get that the way I want. But other than that, yeah, really exciting time, guys. Looking forward to sharing it all and getting back on. Wanting to do these a lot more often. I'm wanting to set up in here. That was one of the reasons I got the bigger desk, so I can have things separated to go, so I can just jump on, do a live stream. And I want to do one of these, not a live stream, do a vlog. I will eventually get into live streams as well, but my PC, unfortunately, at this point won't handle live streaming and OBS and everything else all at the same time. Yeah, looking forward to it, guys. Going to get a lot more content up. I'm wanting to get a lot more of this up. I wanted to make it as practical as possible and as easy as possible for me to sit down, so I have no excuse just to sit down and take a video, upload it. So yeah, I've been ranting for well and truly long enough now. I will talk to you all later. Have a lovely day. Stay warm. You can tell it's getting winter here. Stay warm, and I will see you next time. Ciao.